In the fall of 1993, employees at Air France stormed onto runways and burned tires in response to a restructuring program put forward by the organization. Yet, 6 months later, these same employees overwhelmingly approved an even tougher plan put forward by a new CEO. What made the difference? Arguably, it was at least in part due to the fact that the new CEO understood and respected the importance of fairness during organizational change and transformation. In order to put fairness to work for you in your next organizational change, it's important to understand that people perceive 4 different types of fairness, and each type of fairness has slightly different impacts or influence on how people perceive the change and their willingness to accept and engage in the organizational change. The first type of fairness is known as distributive fairness, and that relates to the outcomes or results of the change. So am I winning or am I losing? Do I have more or do I have less? Power, prestige, money, or even time as a result of a change. Now clearly, people like it when they feel like they're winning, and they like it a lot less when they feel like they're losing. And that's where the second type of fairness comes into play. It's known as process or procedural fairness. Now, it turns out that people are more willing to accept a change, even when it has negative implications for them, if they believe that the decisions about the change were made using a fair process. And decades of research shows us when 6 factors are present in a process, people perceive it to be fair. But it's not enough to design and use a fair process. You also have to be willing to tell people about it, which is the third type of fairness, and it's known as informational fairness. And it has everything to do with the willingness of leaders and those driving the change to provide explanations, to explain why we're doing this, how were decisions made, who was involved. It's also related to the fourth type of fairness, and that's interpersonal fairness. That's how people perceive that others are being treated during the change. Is everyone being treated with politeness, dignity, and respect? Now, when we're willing to take the time and effort to invest in integrating fairness into our organizational change management approach, we often will see a lot of different types of positive benefits as a result. And importantly, we can avoid the eroded trust and reduce credibility that often comes about when we ignore the fact that people really do care if a change is fair. To learn more about the art and science of change, visit me at wendyhirsch.com.